As Carbon Diablo X is one of Roadbose's most well-known levels and is one of the most popular demons of all time. Riot was the first player to ever beat the level legitimately, and since then, it has become a popular staple for players to attempt. It was deemed as the hardest demon in the game upon release, and remained so for the majority of 2014 until the release of Cataclysm. Ever since then, the level is still talked about to this day and remains as a solid level achievement across the years. Another level of the same type is a level named Carbon, which to some players' knowledge is an early official prequel to Diablo X. Both of them gained a notorious reputation back in 2014 when they were released, taking the top spots on many lists as some of the hardest levels in the game. Sus never gained the privilege of being a top hardest demon, but Diablo X held that position for a long period of time. Despite being hat levels and one of them having a secret way less than halfway through the level, these levels have remained rated over the years and remain spoken of to this day. However, while for some it is not even known that Sus and Diablo X are made by the same creator, the Carbon levels are part of a series. There are a few more levels in this series, some of which match the brutal difficulty of Diablo X, but these levels have been deleted and lost to time, with some of its remnants lost most likely forever. And here is where me and Restoration Union come in. In an effort to restore most of Roadbose's levels, we have finalized a full list of the entire series, resulting in a total of 6 different levels. 5 levels that were official levels, and 2 of them that were unfinished or scrapped. They will be demonstrated in order, beginning from earliest uploaded and discussing the story of what happened to each level. Let's begin. Before talking about any of the levels in the series, it is worth mentioning an even older level, Ice Hell Cave. Ice Hell Cave was released in 12th of December 2013 and was one of the earliest demons to ever exist in the game. It is made by a creator named Samuel, and this creator had 2 of the oldest demons to have ever existed in the game, Demon Step being his second. However, both of these demons are now deleted, and both levels have been restored today somewhat. The beginning of this level will probably seem reminiscent if you're familiar with one of the Carbon levels. The first jump of this level is definitely what landed it to receive as many dislikes as it got back when it was rated, but other than that, the level today is pretty easy. The majority of this level consists of ball and cube timings which aren't difficult for players today. There was also a secret way found at around the 70% region, where it was possible to skip a game mode portal all the way to the end of the level. Because of that, the last 30% of Ice Hell Cave is lost most likely forever. Probably the immediate question for some of you is, why is Ice Hell Cave relevant to the Carbon series? Well, some of you may have already been able to piece together why, but not only did Roadbose's series begin with the name Ice, but the first entry in the Carbon series recreates the first jump from Ice Hell Cave, but harder. On top of that, the first post of Roadbose mentioning Carbon mentions how Roadbose explains the level as, this is like Ice Hell Cave, but harder. I think that serves as a solid foundation on the statement that Roadbose was inspired by Ice Hell Cave when making the first level. With that said, let's begin showing off the first level in the series. The first level in the Carbon series, Carbon, was uploaded on the 13th of January 2014 and was released in the 1.4 update, which will be relevant when discussing the later levels. It is unknown when the level was specifically rated, but in late January 2014, the first mentions about the level showed up in GW. This level was pretty unique compared to the later levels in that Sus had a very obvious secret way that was used to clear the level at the 40% region, which still exists to this day despite being rated. However, the first 40% is what stopped most players from using it. Right before the secret way lies a brutal ship part with mirror portal and gravity portal spam. On a mobile device, this was unreasonable to pull off in 2014. Therefore, the level remained unbeaten for a long time. Some Korean players like Megadeer claimed to have beaten it a few months later, but was inevitably debunked as hacked. In current knowledge, the first player to beat the level legitimately was Sir Gellister, who used the secret way to accomplish this in 1st of January 2016. In the same year, he also re-beat the level without using the secret way, conquering the full level. In today's era of the game, it is now an insane demon, as it is deemed as a level with a ship challenge, much like the level The Janus Miracle. Next level in the series was the first to be disregarded and ignored by the community. The second level in the series was named Ice Carbon Chaos, and unlike Zyst was given a pretty brutal treatment. The level was released in 1.5, and on the 27th of February, Roadbose made an announcement showing that the level was uploaded with an ID of 281398, using the song Theory of Everything, and a description detailing how this is a sequel to Ice Carbon Zyst. In the same post, he also stated that Chaos is much like Ice Carbon Zyst, but 10 times harder. Given the images that Roadbose showcased of the level, this description was quite an understatement. Roadbose provided a lot of edited screenshots from the level, showing off a number of different parts which demonstrates a lot of challenge, even more so than Zyst ever did. The trend for this level was typically very long strafefly sections with mirror portals thrown into the mix, a very usual Roadbose-like gameplay design. Unlike Zyst, however, that received a rating and was spoken about for its secret way, difficulty and legitimacy concerns, Chaos was completely ignored. Roadtop didn't rate the level, no one played it, and if they did, they didn't make it very far. No one showed any images of them playing through the level, and the only one giving any mentions to the level was Roadbose himself. He tried repeatedly to get players to play the level, but no one wanted anything to do with it. The number of old comments in the level suggests how little it was actually played, even with the prequel building up so much attention. Roadbose eventually ended up removing the level altogether, agreeing with pretty much everyone else who did play the level, saying that the level was terrible. Restoration Union have put together a restored version of the level to give you an idea of what it offered. Compared to Zyst, this is easily the hardest Ice Carbon level so far. Allow me to demonstrate. Despite Chaos not receiving anywhere near the same attention as Zyst, Roadbose was willing to continue making additions to the series. There were, however, a few experiments being done before the next official level release would happen. One of these experiments would be the cancelled third entry into the Ice Carbon series, which was named Ice Carbon Demon X. This level was never uploaded anywhere, and the date for when Roadbose previewed this level has been lost, but it is assumed it was previewed around April 2014. The level was never finished, but there are images showcasing the first 15 seconds. Just from glancing at these images, one could already tell how insanely difficult Roadbose wanted to make this level. But unfortunately, this is all that can be said about it. Roadbose quit making this level because he did not like what he came up with, and decided to start fresh with a different level with a different name. Albeit, very similar name. The short level is restored and uploaded on Compendium with the following ID if you wish to play it. For now, enjoy the short demonstration before moving on to the next level in the series. The next entry in the series is also the most well known, and became the hardest demon in the eyes of the community when released. On 20th of May 2014, Roadbose released his most well known level and third entry in the Ice Carbon series, Ice Carbon Diablo X. In terms of name change, all Roadbose really did was take Demon X and change the word demon into Spanish. In Roadbose's entire catalog, Diablo X is easily his most well-known level and probably is one of his best levels too. Initially though, this level was disliked bombed by the community for being very obviously hacked. Roadbose featured 3 of Roadbose's levels at the same time: Extreme Super World, Super of Everything, and of course Ice Carbon Diablo X. It spawned this trilogy of levels that were all given the same dislike treatment, even if Extreme Super World was very likely verified legitimately. With Super of Everything and ICDX however, it would take over a year for a player to beat either of the levels, with Super of Everything being beaten on 19th of May 2015 by Naked Muffin, and ICDX beaten by Riot on 24th of May 2015. Until Cataclysm was released on 3rd of January 2015, Ice Carbon Diablo X held the top spot as the hardest demon. This level was released in the 1.6 update, and some of you may have noticed a trend with that. Whether it was intentional or not, Roadbose followed a trend where he created a new addition to the series for every new update. Sus was released in the 1.4 update, Chaos was released in the 1.5 update, and Diablo X was released in the 1.6 update. Demon X was being made in 1.6 as well, so the same statement holds up here. Given this fact, this would mean that the next upcoming level in the series will show up once 1.7 has been released into the game. And indeed, Roadbose would release the next level in the series in the 1.7 update of the game, although maybe not how one would expect. With the extreme difficulty Demon X and Diablo X presented, one could only imagine the brutal difficulty that the next level in the series will present. But strangely enough, and probably the most surprising addition to the series, the next level is an auto level. Yeah, going from extreme demon all the way down to auto. This level is named Ice Carbon Fantasy, and features the song Electrodynamics, and for Roadbose's previous standards and quality, this is a rather pretty level. For anyone who has watched my video on all of Roadbose's levels in the past, you would maybe know that Roadbose transitioned from making very difficult levels during the 1.5 to 1.6 phase to trying to make a visually appealing level in 1.7 to 1.8. Ice Carbon Fantasy is an example of that transition phase, including the lack of difficulty in the true sequel from Diablo X. With that said, however, this level was never finished. The only part that was finished was these 8 seconds, which is a shame, since it would give the series a very unique and interesting dynamic. Despite it never being released, however, unlike Demon X, which was replaced by Diablo X, this can be considered a true sequel in the Ice Carbon series. Originally, this is where me and Restoration Union believed that the Ice Carbon series ended, with an auto level finishing this series off. However, after the video of all of Roadbose's levels was uploaded, we hit a breakthrough. After that video was finished, Restoration Union managed to get in contact with the real Roadbose. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just another one of those impersonators trying to get clout for stupid things, or someone trying to get bigger names' attention? We'll get back to that. For now, just accept that the one we're speaking to is the real Roadbose. Moving on, upon discussing with Roadbose on Discord about the Ice Carbon series, he gave statements about facts regarding the lost levels in the series, such as Ice Carbon Chaos, which he stated was pretty much a remake of Ice Carbon Zust in a way, just made harder. Ice Carbon Fantasy was never finished due to Roadbose wishing to transition into making more good-looking levels, but the community surrounding Roadbose did not approve of this decision. They wanted Roadbose to keep making difficult levels, which resulted in Roadbose quitting from the game, with Melaniasis, a Majako-inspired level, being his final known creation at the time. However, Roadbose did confirm the legitimacy of yet another level in the Ice Carbon series, which is a level that was believed by Restoration Union to have been fake for years. This level was uploaded approximately on the 10th of October 2015, meaning that Roadbose did eventually return on the 2.0 update. Initially, this level was given a short preview version uploaded online with the ID 12312938. In this level's description, one could figure out that the level was to be named Ice Carbon Titan X. The level revealed to be using the song Theory of Everything 2, and there's a small video showcasing the beginning of this level. Unfortunately, that is all there is to be found on this level. There is a full version of this level that was later released under the ID 13036-922, but it has since long been deleted, much for the same reason Ice Carbon Chaos was deleted. Roadbose disliked it. There are a few sections that have been recreated out of memory to try and get a better idea of how the level looked like, but there isn't enough to compensate for a full level. Given the transition phase from difficulty to decoration focus Roadbose wished for during 1.7 to 1.8, it can be assumed that Titan X was made to cope with the requests of making more difficult levels for the community, which immediately backfired against Roadbose's real intentions. Some may ask, if we were speaking to the real Roadbose, why did we ask if he still had the level? We did ask him, and he said that both Chaos and Titan X is deleted for good on his own account. No one remembers much of Titan X either, so unlike a level like Element 111RG, Titan X cannot be recreated from memory. The only hope for this level to see the light of day again is if someone has a copy of the level when it was uploaded during 2.0, but that's looking for a needle in a haystack, so it's a pretty big long shot hoping for that to happen. And there we have it. The conclusion of the full Ice Carbon series with levels uploaded by Roadbose only. There are endless attempts at spin-off levels from a wide array of different creators, but they would be way beyond counting. Based off the levels of Roadbose uploaded only, there are a total of 5 levels excluding the scrapped one. Ice Carbon Zust, Ice Carbon Chaos, Ice Carbon Diablo X, Ice Carbon Fantasy, and finally Ice Carbon Titan X. This is the full series with no other levels belonging to it, and unless more discoveries arises, this is how this series will stay. But of course, I will need to address the elephant in the room. How would we know that who Restoration Union spoke to was actually the real Roadbose? Well, this user proved it by logging into the GW account that was used to find all of Roadbose's levels when making that said video. We were able to see that the posts we used belonged to the GW account he logged into, and no impersonator will be able to do that. However, if this still doesn't prove to you that this is the real one, perhaps what happened a while later might convince you otherwise. I never personally spoke with Roadbose, so I can't speak for what actually happened here, but something made him want to, and quoting him here, fix his past. But what he meant by that was deleting every single trace of his levels even existing from 2014. All the references used to make the All of Roadbose's Levels video, gone. Deleted forever, to be never seen again. On top of that, he removed everyone he had recently added from Discord, distancing himself and blocking friend requests being sent to him. This served as a reinforcer that he was the real deal to me. I'd assume it does for most of you out there as well. So with this said, this video ends confirming 2 aspects. What the full Ice Carbon series looked like, and that Roadbose will most likely never return. While there were many different aliases for him, the last name he used was Roadkiller, and has probably left the game now, never to return. Roadbose has quit the game, leaving a legacy behind him that is still talked about to this day, with the Carbon series standing strong even 7 years later.